Hello, let's do the New York Times games for Saturday, January 10th. I'm seeing like technical related things like a website, a desktop, a mobile, an app. I don't know why those would really go together though. I mean, desktop and mobile are like, devices. You have a desktop computer, a mobile device, a mobile phone. App is something on those things. Web is something you access from those things. So it doesn't seem to quite fit. A gram is a unit of measurement. So is a volt. A mole is as well, and I only know that really from this game. Some sort of energy thing, I think, right? But gram is a weight unit, whereas volt and mole, I think, are both energy units. So that makes me a little suspicious. You have a pipe, a tube, a hose. These are long cylindrical items. A bar is cylindrical, but it doesn't have a hole through the middle. A straw does, though. So that could be a category. Probably is. Normally when they trick you, it's more towards the top. But we'll see. You dip, you split. This is to take off. You jet. You volt. Did they use volt like that recently? Volt. And I didn't agree with it. Or I didn't think it meant that. But now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like they've used that in this category before. Yeah, I'm thinking they've done this category before and they used volt in here. Maybe. Book and web, things with pages. Again, desktop and mobile used to access those things, so I wouldn't really call that the same thing. I don't see a third or fourth one. Things with pages. App could also be short for appetizer. Dip is obviously an appetizer, or lots of appetizers have dips. Yeah, not sure about that. Plus, I think dip goes with jet and split. All right, if volt was going with the split one, which I'm iffy on, I just think it might because they've done this category before, I think. What would mole go with if it's not the unit? Could be mole. I think that's how it's spelled. It's food. I think it's spelled the same way. Not 100% certain about that. As I've proven many times, I'm not great with spelling. You can order from an app. You can order at the bar. Maybe these are things you place orders at. Maybe not. I still don't know what gram is going with if it's not the unit of measurement. Gram cracker. No, that's spelled, I think, Graham, I think. I don't think it's spelled this way for the cracker. It ends in RAM. Are we ending with computer parts? All right, I've been sitting here way too long. So I'm going to do hose, tube, straw, and what was the fourth one? Pipe. All right, hollow cylinders. And then maybe jet, dip, split, and I think volt. I'm going to try it. No, that's one away. Okay. I thought they've used bolt like that before. Oh, you book it. You book it. You take off. Oh, come on. All right. That was terrible. All right. I think they've used volt like that before. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just gaslighting myself. All right. We still have volt, mole, and gram as maybe units of measurement. But what else would be a unit of measurement? A bar? I guess a bar is a unit of measure in music, right? And then web, app, desktop, and mobile. Would those go together? Units of measure, okay. And then what are they calling this one? Software platforms. That's it? All right. I think I made that one a lot more difficult than it had to be. I was way overthinking that. But come on, this purple that's not a very purple category. A unit of measure? All right. Well, this one was so easy, it was tricky. Let's see what they give it. 2.3. Oh, back to their favorite rating. Haven't seen that in a few days, actually. All right, let's check the bot. All right, 2 out of 5, 67% solve rate. Actually, losing is slightly above winning, or slightly above none. All right. I am not the only one who tried volt with takeoff. Quite a few, actually. Tubes, yeah. Web, I was seeing those things right away. I don't know. Just because web and app are things you access from a desktop and mobile device, so it just didn't seem to quite fit to me. But software platforms, like an app is a software, right? Web is software. I don't know. I guess I don't view, especially app, I don't view as a platform. App is something you use on a platform. Although, would you say TikTok platform, YouTube platform? Yeah, kind of, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because I made a mistake and I'm being annoyed about it. All right, let's check ever. So ever, it's yellow and green, typical, and then a big drop down to blue and purple. So losing games, your typical combo of green and yellow, or nothing. Blue last in the 3 biggest winning categories, or the 3 biggest winning games. What is this? 28, 37% getting blue last. And then another 5% over here. All right, let's check the mistakes. Digital platform, a book, an ebook. It's not a platform though. Maybe things you read on. I could see that. Volt, so 14% trying my same mistake there. It's the second highest mistake. I think they've used Volt that way before. I would never put it in there on my own. The only reason I put it in there is because I feel like they've used it that way before. So they're gaslighting me, or I'm gaslighting myself. Ice cream treats, a bar like a candy bar, split, jet and dip. I guess you could have like a sweet dip, like a ice cream dip or something like that. I don't know what jet would be though. Okay, onto the mini crossword. All right, pieces of legislation, bills, but that's not plural, or it would be plural. That's 5 letters. Not sure. Like blue whales or the Burj Khalifa. Blue whales. Big. All right. Cuisine with tom yum soup. Tie. This clue divided by 9. 1. Classic internet prank. Rickroll? Ranked above all others. Number 1? I'm not sure. What was blank was saying? What? This clue minus number 9. 5. Not give. 5. Home of MOMA. MoMA. Home of MOMA. I don't know what that means. Read receipt below an Instagram message. I don't know what that means. Alphabetically first subway line in 15 across. Alphabetically first subway line in 15 across. Is the bottom one NYC? It's the only city I know of with a, I mean, not the only one, but the first city I think of with a subway. Either blank of kiss? Kiss, kiss, bang, bang? No, that doesn't fit. Bit of strategy. Tactic? Religious wearer of a turban known as a dastar. I don't know. Baby's knitted shoe. I have no idea. Smitten in love. Writer's alternative to a ballpoint. Gel something? Often heckled sports figures. Refs. Pieces of legislation. Bills. Pieces of legislation. If it was piece of legislation, I would put bill, but it's pieces, it's plural. So this is probably an S over here, right? Seek. This is seek over here. How do you spell seek? Like this? I think so. Baby's knitted shoe. I don't know. Writer's alternative to a ballpoint. Gel end? Gel something. A gel pen? Is it just pen? Pieces of legislation. Amendments. Acts. An act. Okay. An act of Congress. Ranked above all others. Up. Something the top? On the top? Maybe? Might fit. What was blank was saying? I still don't know what that means. Maybe this is at the top because I think this first one down is A train. At the top? A train. All right, so I do think this one is NYC. Okay, what is this? What was it I was saying? What was I? What? That's confusing me. All right. Chitty chitty bang bang. Okay. ITI. What was I don't know what that means. Read receipt. Scene. What is this one? 13. What was blank was saying? What was itty was what? ITI? What? It I? What was it I was saying? What was it I was saying? Man, I don't know why my brain just could not wrap around those two words together. What was it I was saying? That's, I don't know, that's such a weird clue. Do you say that all that often that you would just know that that's what they were going for there? At the top. I would say on the top. At the top? Okay. All right. Did I get everything else? Chitty chitty bang bang. Seek refs booty. Okay, a baby's knitted shoe, a booty. All right, I guess. All right, well, you know, not my best, not my worst. Very mid game. Kind of a frustrating game, even though it didn't take like 6 or 7 minutes like some of them have. Oh, on to pips. All right, let's see. We need a 3 in here. We only have 1 3, so that goes there. And then we have the 0 4. Probably goes this way. If it does, that means this would have to be 5 1 up. Maybe. And then 1 1, 6 with a greater than 1, so this would be 6 2 and 6 1. All right, got it. Nice. On to medium. Let's see. This has to be greater than 2, 7, just blanks. All right. What do we have 3 of? We have 3 1s, 4 1s, and 4 blanks. So this is 1s or blanks. This is greater than 9. So this has to have at least one of the 6s in it. It's going to be 6 4, 6 5, and then this 4 here. We could do 4 3 or 5 1. We need a domino that equals 7. I should have looked at that earlier. So we have the 6 1 and the 4 3. I'm guessing it's the 4 3. Maybe not. Maybe it's the 6 1. Let's put 6 1 up here because maybe the 4 3 goes over here. Let's do this. Let's do 4 3 here. How are we getting to 5 in here? We could do. Wait up. We need a 1. 1 1. I feel like this would be 1 1 over here. We did this, but we need a 3 here, so we can't do that. How are we getting to 5? That's something to think about. So maybe we do 4 3, and then we could do. This would have to be 1 1 2. That doesn't work. What if we did 4 3? This would be 2 1. That works. This could be 0 6 and 5 1 up. This has to be greater than 2. That doesn't work. All right. What are we doing? How are we doing this? Is this the ones of the zeros? If we did do zeros, we could do like 0 2. This would have to be a 3. We could do 3 4. This could be 1 with a big number. 1 5. 2 6 0. 6 1. 3 1 1. What? What did I get wrong? Oh, this equals 4. Okay. Yeah, not 5. I just switched those around. All right. Not great, but tried to put the ones over here and it didn't work out. Nah, that happens sometimes. All right, on to hard. Ooh, this one is very big. Let's zoom out a little bit here. Okay. What does this spell? H-O-L-A? Ola? Okay. All right. What's an obvious? This has 6 5 on its own. It has to be. So that is forced there like that. This needs to be a 1 with a small number. We have a 1 3, 1 6, 1 0, 1 4. Could be a lot of those. Actually, no, this needs to be a domino on its own that equals less than 4 5. Okay. How many 2s do we have? We have 1 2. We have 2 2s. So this would be 2 0. If we had a 2 0, do we have a 6 1? We do have a 6 1. So if this was 2 0, this would be 6 1. Do we have a 3 1? We do have a 3 1. So this 2 could be the 2 3 as well. So those both work, unfortunately. And the other 2's going right here with n equals. Do we have 3 zeros? We do. So maybe this goes here like that. Let's do this and this. And then this would be 0 0. Sure. This needs to be 1 1 or 0 2. Well, no, it can't be 0 2. Ooh, this has to be 2 zeros and a 1. How are we doing that? We need a number greater than 5. All right, this has to be 6 1, right? Or it could be 6 0. We do have a 6 0. Let's try this, though. And then this would have to be like 0 1 up. That works. But then this would have to be a 1 with a big number. We need at least a 1 5 in here. We don't have a 1 5. We have a 1 4, But then the biggest this could be is 10, so that doesn't work. All right, maybe this isn't the zeros up here. I feel like maybe I need more zeros down here. Maybe this will be a 4, 0. Like that. I'm still not sure if this is the 3, 1 here. I'm just assuming that at the moment. And then this has to be 6, 1 or 6, 0. I guess let's try the 6, 0. And then this could be 1, 0. This would have to be 2, but we need the 2 2s up here. We only have 2 2s. I just want to double check that. We only have 2 2s, so yeah, that can't be the 1, 0. Can't do it. We have a 4, 1, so maybe this is a 4, 1 over. And then we do 0, 1 up. And then we could do 1, 6. And then this would have to be like 5 with a greater than 2. Do we have that? Or 6 with a greater than 2? We have a 6, 3, so this works. This needs to be greater than 9, so it'd have to be the 6, 4 or the 6, 6. All right. And then we still need this 2 up here. We could still do the zeros. We could do this. This is greater than 10, or greater than 9, so that could go there. This is less than 5, so this would have to be the 0, 3 or the 0, 4. I guess it doesn't matter, because we need both of these like this. All right. How are we getting to less than 4, though? We can't do that. Not unless we did something like this, but then I don't have a less than 5 up here. All right, let's start over. Well, not completely over, but let's rethink this. Actually, we might need to completely start over, other than the 6, 5. That's the only one that's like forced. Yeah, let's just pull all these out. Let's try the 2, 6 up here, maybe. Where'd it go? We had the 2, 3, and then the 2, 0. Oh, that's what it was. It was the 2, 0. And then we're going to do a 6, 1. Let's try that. This would then have to be the 6, 0. Do we have a 4 with a greater than 2? We do. We have a 6, 4. So this could just go up. That would mean this would have to be the 6, 6. And then this would have to equal 2 all on its own. And we don't have a domino that equals 2 all on its own. Except for the 0, 2. Or 2, 0. So what if we did that and then went back to the 2, 3. And then the 3, 1. Let's go back to that and try this. This would be 0, 1. Okay. Oh no, we can't put the 2 here. This has to be 2 1s. That's right. And we don't have a 1, 1. So this domino, whatever domino goes here, has to overlap here. So this 6, 4 can't go up. So this needs to be a 4, 1 or a 4, 0 going this way, no matter what. If we did this, this would have to be 0, 1. And then the 1, 6. I feel like this is kind of what we already did, though. 6, 3. Do we have anything that we can put in here as the equals? What if we did 2, 0 this way, and then we did like 4, 4 up, and then like 4, 6, and then 5, 0. That works. This would then have to be the 6, 6. This is a greater than 4, though, so we need a big number. You know what? Maybe we could do this. We could do 5, 0 down, and then 4, 0 down up here. That's still greater than 9. And then we do 0, 2, and then 0, 0 is less than 5. All right. Oh, man, that one was super tricky. You just had to try things. And realizing that this had to be 2 1s. I mean, I realized that early on, although I did try in the middle there to go 0, 2, even though I knew this had to be 2 1s. I forgot there for a brief second, but I didn't have that in there for very long. And then I think I started with the 2-3 here. I think I started with that, and then I pivoted over to the 2-0 and tried the 6-1 there for a little bit too. So just wasn't obvious, you know, bit of a tricky one. All right, if you're enjoying the videos, please leave a like and subscribe and let me know how you did on all the puzzles today.